Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stelezzi here with another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Civ mod overview. So today we're going over the Tatars, a Central Asian Civ mod. This mod adds the Tatars to the game. I would go as far to call them the Uzbeks though, since basically when you look at all the cards that these guys get, they're pretty much the Uzbeks, I mean, look at this. Clearly the Timurids, right? And where were the Timurids? Basically modern Uzbekistan, Bukhara, cities like that. So yeah. It's not completely Uzbek though. There are references to areas like the Crimean Tatars and other Tatar related groups. So it's kind of a mishmash of all the Central Asian Tatar states, from the Golden Horde all the way down to, the Timurids and the Chagatais. So it's a pretty expansive state, honestly, that's covered here. The most important thing, though, to note, it is a Asian civ. So they have wonders, they have consulate options that are new. So they did a really good job with this civ here, giving them their own unique wonders with their own new models. Pretty awesome. So that's why I'm covering this one today. I really want to get you all interested in it and maybe playing it in multiplayer with me someday. Hopefully someday you will. Yeah, so first is first, we always start with the cards, right? And then we move on to the gameplay. So here we start with the age 1 cards. We'll go from left to right, and then do the rest for the other ages, and then it's time for a battle against an AI. So here we go. First is first, basic resource crate cards that everybody gets, infinite food, infinite wood, infinite coin. Usually, some people like to get these. I personally don't usually, so you be the judge. Now we got this card here. Team Nomadic Pastures. Ships a yurt rickshaw and 4 sheep for each member of your team. So, yeah, basically yurts are kind of like little mini villages. You know how the Chinese civ has the big giant village that provides pop space and acts as a livestock pen? Yeah, the Tatars get something very similar to that, but it's like a single yurt instead of a whole town of them, basically. So it only gives you a marginal amount of population, but it does have the added bonus of giving you the livestock pen functionality. And if I remember correctly, when you construct a yurt, you get a free sheep with that too when it's constructed. So there is a bit of a perk in constructing a ton of yurts as well. But we'll get into that later when we get into the gameplay. Also, we have our Explorer card here, the Reaver. Improves your Mirza in combat, basically your Explorer. Ships a wise old wolf to help him, and doubles the bounty from defeating treasure guardians. Oh, that's really powerful. That's going to lead to a ton of economic benefits to the player whenever they're playing, basically. And for maps that have a ton of treasures on it, I see that being very helpful for you. Then we have Shangyok. Delivers 1 horse. Yurts gain a small experience trickle and can train horses. Oh, wow. That's a whole new herdable type. Very fascinating. Plus, it's going to allow you to get shipments a lot faster, since obviously the bajillions of yurts you're going to have are now going to be trickling you XP. And I haven't truly talked about a civ bonus that the Uzbek/Tatar civ gets. Basically, whenever you send a card, you usually get a free yurt when you do that. So, like, look at this card here, Pet Wolves. You get a yurt with that. If you look at some of these other cards here, like Open Skies, you get a free yurt. This gives you a free yurt. This one gives you a dock instead. So it's a little bit spotty, but in general, a lot of the cards that you get with this Tatar civ give you a free yurt. Just keep that in mind, and just know that when you're playing, that you're really not going to have too much of a problem with having places to put your animals, basically. Yeah. Alright, so coming back to over here, we got a 4 yurt rickshaw card here. So if you want to have a lot of yurts right away, send this one. Can be very helpful to you. Then we have 3 pet wolves. It's like any other pet-related card that other civs get, except you get the free yurt rickshaw with this one being the Tatars. Sheep with a homestead wagon. This is a very popular card for survival, as you know, with other civs. Here, you just get a homestead wagon since, gives you a bit more flexibility, and they didn't want to dampen the card at all, so they just kept it the way it is, which is totally fine. And then you have Team Timurid Architecture. Team building costs less wood and grants more XP when built. This is obviously going to be best when you have larger teams. It just allows you to construct your houses a bit earlier, your other structures like the market a bit earlier. It can be a really good way to help people's build orders out on the entire team, which is really good. Rebats ships a market rickshaw and improves market buy and sell rates. Yep, basically very similar to advanced market. I mean, the obvious thing that you get is a market with the card, so you don't have to pay that 100 wood for it. Plus, it gives you a yurt rickshaw since you're the Tatars, and that's kind of your civ bonus, right? Yeah. And then we have open skies. Yurts are cheaper and build faster. So if you want to get a ton of yurts very quickly, here's your opportunity to do that. You get Furrier. Same as any other civ, helps with hunting, berries, and cherry orchards. Plus, you get more yield from berries and huntables, just like the original card does. Basically allowing you to gather from berries and huntables faster before the resources get depleted from them. Pretty helpful. Now we move on to Indian goods. Villagers gather a coin from bazaars faster and export somewhat faster. So, yeah. Basically, we get a new building with the Tatars called the Bazaar. It's like a new sort of plantation type structure that can be configured to gather coin or export. Yeah, you can actually gather export directly as this civ. Pretty insane, right? And as you're going to see later, it really matters a lot because it's going to give you so many opportunities, as you're going to see. Specifically if you get certain wonders with it. Sabir Khanate ships 3 herders from the Sabir Khanate. Villagers gather work rate for huntables and berries. Increase huntables and berry bushes contain more food. Ooh, yeah, so kind of another copy of Furrier, I would say, except this one. Oh, wow. Very interesting. Yeah. Yep, I like cards like this because then you can double dip it with this one basically and it can really help you out a lot. But there's going to be a lot of cards like this that cost a small amount of export and then they essentially give you some free stuff like herders and stuff to help with your eco, just so you know. Yep, here's another such one, the Quazim Khanate. Ships 3 herders from the Quazim Khanate. Villager work rate for trees increase. Trees contain more wood. So now you get more yield from trees when you're chopping them. Very similar to the idea of the food-related ones. Trade Empire. This is a card that a lot of the Asian civs get. Gives you a trading post rickshaw. And then TPs going down the line become cheaper and stronger. Very helpful. Good Faith Agreements. Another Asian civ signature. Consulate armies and improvements arrive 50% faster. You kind of know the rest, I think, with this one. Same thing with Advanced Wonders, Wonders are tankier and they're built quicker. Advanced Dock. Holy Refuge. Yep, these are all standard Asian cards, by the way, so if you're used to playing China, Japan, India, it's very much the same. Stockyards, particularly helpful since you get a ton of yurts. Helps you to fan those animals up very quickly. Fish Market. Sawmills. Ironmonger. Sumptuary Laws, Fur Trade, East Indiamen. Yep, these are all standard Asian cards down here, so I really don't need to go over them too much. Now let's go into Age 2 and see what sort of stuff we have here. Alright, so we got our standard food crates, standard wood crates, and our standard coin crates for this age here. As far as animals, you can send some pet wolves here. You get a team pet wolves card as well to help out the whole team. You get a 7 semi-fattened cow shipment. This one's particularly useful because of all the yurts you have, so you're definitely going to have a place to put them. But moving on to the new stuff, though. Pet combat. Pet attack and hit points increase. So, yeah, basically all the pets that you get either from treasures or the ones like these wolves here and such, you're going to be able to make them tougher now, especially in their hit points, as you can see up there. Very, very, very helpful. And in particular, it looks like it actually helps out the wolves even more. Because look how it says pets are improved by 15%, and then it shows Buck the tame wolf and the other one improved by 5%. So wolves are especially improved by this card more than other animals. Hanafism, ships an imam, allows imams to be trained at the monastery and improves their healing rate. Yeah, that's one thing that you notice with the monasteries of the Asian civs, is they don't have any like priests there like the Europeans do. This card kind of fixes that and allows you to get your imam healers from the monastery building and thus be able to heal your troops on the front lines, which is very helpful. Plus, it improves their healing rate ability even further, so you might not have to build as many of them to maintain your army. Wanderers. Villager and rickshaw hit points and speed increase. This is particularly useful if you're worried about your villas and stuff getting raided. Transoxiana roots. Native settlements can call Bashi Bajouks to defend them. Trade routes provide more coin, food, and wood. That's kind of awesome, actually, because, as you know, in a lot of 1v1 games, people love to attack your native sites, right, to try to get you off. Now, if they tried to send some pikemen after doing this, the Bashi Bajouks, as you know, a Minuteman that has multipliers against heavy infantry, should be able to clean them up rather quickly. Karakul sheep, the infamous sheep from Wars of Liberty Uzbek civs. Here, the Karakul sheep simply cheapens the cost of sheep by 50%. Pretty powerful, you know. Maybe not as powerful as the OP Karakul sheep back in the release of the Wars of Liberty Uzbeks, but hey, cheapening my sheep herdables by half is pretty tough. I like that. Next one here, Nogai Horde. Ships 5 herders and 2 homestead wagons from the Nogai Horde. So, gives you some villies, gives you some stuff to build some more yurts with, plus it gives you another yurt rickshaw too. Oh, wow. That's pretty flexible. I like that. Actually gets a lot done. And then you have the Kazakh Khanate from, of course, Kazakhstan. Ships 4 herders from the Kazakh Khanate. Villagers gather coin from mines faster. Mines contain more coin. So, another one of those cards that improves your villagers' gather rate on a natural resource, plus improving the yield, allowing you to gather from them for longer, too. So, that's very helpful. Oleshki Sich. Ships 3 Cossacks from the Zaporizhian Sich. For the rest of the game, more Cossacks arrive each time you advance in age. So, every time you build a wonder going forward, you're going to get some free Cossacks from that. Could be very helpful if you send it early. Before you, I would say for this one, you're going to have to plan this one carefully if you're going for a fast fortress, and you'll probably end up sending this after you ship your 700 coin in, I would assume. Yeah, it could be helpful, so I have a lot of promise for this one. Team Recurve Bow. Team Archer range attack increased. So, basically, it improves only the range attack of archers. But, yeah, it looks like the Tatars also get a slightly improved boost from it, so they'll get 15% improved range attack, whereas everybody else, only 10%. Pretty interesting concept. It's really good if you're playing with civs like the Haudenosaunee, the Lakota, the Japanese, the British. Anyone that gets like a longbowman or some sort of cav archer early on should benefit from this pretty well. Obviously, I wouldn't want to run this if you're playing with like Germany or anything. That would probably not be good because all they get is like useless crossbowmen, right? But yeah, you get the idea. Udalish. Yeah. Training in horseback wrestling improves Tatar cavalry hit points and speed. Oh, that's pretty good. Not only does it make your guys more tanky, it allows them to maneuver a bit better as well, which can also lead to better improved survivability. Sibir warriors. Infantry hit points increase, especially Tabardars. Tabardars are basically your melee troop, basically, as you're going to see. Because the Tabard is basically a Middle Eastern sort of like polearm weapon that we actually see in Wars of Liberty through the new dervish units from the Sufi Muslims. But so yeah, it's kind of like a sort of like an axe and a halberd put together, basically. But yeah, this card will essentially increase your infantry hit points by 10%, and then the Tatars get another 10% boost, giving them a really substantial HP buff. Raid Commander ships 1 Batir and reduces the cost of all Fortress Age unit upgrades. Wow, that's pretty nice. So it basically cheapens all your veteran upgrades on most of your troops. Pretty helpful. Here is some of our first military units. The Qualavul, a sturdy foot archer with a decent attack, good against muskets and dragoons. Here's the Tatar we were talking about. Currently is using a placeholder icon of a Streletsy because, you know, Unstoppable Streletsy is holding his nice little axe next to him, so they figured that'd be a good one. Essentially, he's a pikeman. You know, he's good against buildings and cavalry. You also have the Kozak. Funnily enough, this guy is in Wars of Liberty under the Persian Civ and not the Tatars, but either way. Basically, here he's a lance, armed heavy cavalry, strong versus light infantry and artillery. Very cool. We also have the Mergen, an agile horse archer with strong range and melee attack. Good against cavalry, so basically your horse archer, right? Here you got Atonement. For Tatars, it gives you the Dzungar mercenary. So as you know, every agency kind of gets this card and it gives them a different unit. For the Tatars, it's the Dzungar marksman. So basically a skirmisher type unit. Native Learning, Native Alliance, Flatland Castle, Diplomatic Intrigue, all standard Asian cards so far. Same thing with Land Reforms, Exotic Hardwoods, Sustainable Agriculture, Medicine, Spice Trade. Now, here's the cards we need to pay attention to, these ones. Reinforcement cards. So basically, these types of cards, when you send them, not only gives you units now when you send them, there's a wonder that you can build later that actually lets you retrain these reinforcement armies from that wonder. So you're kind of sending something now when you're unlocking a potential battalion of units later. So it's very powerful. This is the first such one called the Swedish Reinforcements. It gives you Caroliners and lever cannons. The shipment can be resent from the Pulvon Gate Wonder. So yep, that's the wonder I'm talking about, where you can basically send these armies again later for export, right? So yeah, basically the Uzbek Civ is like the master of export. They have more ways of getting export, and then they can do more with it, right? They can like send these big reinforcement armies down the road, depending on how many of these they sent earlier on. Golden Horde ships a number of native horse archers from across the steppe. This can include the ones from the Tengri site, the Sufi site, as well as a number of other ones too. So yeah, it basically gives you a bunch of horse archers, basically of different kinds. Navy, you get the galleys like the Ottomans, galleon, so a very European type navy. Pretty standard cards, normal cards there too. Now we move on to the Fortress Age stuff. So now you got your 1,000 food, your 1,000 wood, your 1,000 coin. Town rickshaw. You also get 15 sheep in a homestead wagon, 20 sheep in a homestead wagon. Well, no homestead wagons, just sheepy. But now let's move on to the actual unique stuff here. So we got the Library of Bukhara. You can build an additional monastery. Mercenaries and outlaws train faster and provide more XP when trained. So if you like to play mercenaries and outlaws, this can be very helpful for you. Kalmiak Cattle. Enables cows to be trained in yurts. Newly built yurts spawn cows instead of sheep. That's actually a really good card because now you take a little tiny animal like the sheep and you replace it effectively with cows, which is really good. Yeah. Persian goods. Villagers gather coin from bazaars faster and export somewhat faster. Again, the bazaar is sort of like a special sort of plantation building where you can choose to either gather gold or export from it. So it's a really nice card to get economically, especially with cards like this that cost export. Yeah. This Civ costs a lot of export from you with a lot of the stuff, but it often rewards you pretty well. Crimean Khanate. Ship 7 herders from the Crimean Khanate. Villagers build faster. Tatar shamanism delivers a force of Tengri nomads, allows them to be trained from yurts, and unlocks Tengri technologies at your yurts. So effectively, you become permanently aligned with the Tengri here. So you get access to their horse archers, their wolves, plus all their technologies, which is very, very helpful. Step Lancers. Batir hand attacks deal increased bonus damage to infantry, and Quazaks deal a small amount of bonus damage to cavalry. Very good. Archer Combat. So this improves all your archer units in your roster. Obviously, you get foot archers and mounted archers, so it's very helpful. Hand cavalry combat. So, yep, you get a ton of melee cav options too, so very helpful. Team Ulak Tortillas. Team cavalry train faster, especially light cavalry, so really helps you to put out horse archers and any sort of gunpowder dragoons that you have as well. But it also will help your other cavalry too. Tufexes. Gunpowder unit attack increase. Saimini deal more damage to heavy infantry. That's sort of your skirmisher unit. Tarkans. Hand cavalry siege attack increased. Koralkanchi and Marauder siege attacks have increased range. So yeah, you get a lot of siege-based cavalry too, since it's sort of like a Mongol Tatar civ, which is really awesome. One of the wonders actually gives you one of those siege units for free over time too, so it's pretty helpful. The Koravuls, sturdy foot archer, we know about that. The Tabarders, the Quazaks, and then the Mergans. Funnily enough, I did mention this before. The Mergans are actually in Wars of Liberty, but they're actually a foot skirmisher with a gun, with a rifle. Yeah, here they're a horse archer for some reason. The Saimini, powerful short range rifleman with a lot of HP. So yep, skirmisher. Batirs, powerful heavy cavalry armed with the lance and bow, good against infantry. So yeah, he's kind of an infantry destroying machine. Whereas this guy's a bit more of like a standard Sawar type cav unit. Marauders, raiding heavy cavalry with the torch to burn down buildings. Yeah, basically just siege camels, really. Wall guns, slow artillery taken from a castle wall, better against artillery and buildings and units. So, kind of like Wars of Liberty howitzers. You know, good against artillery, good against buildings, so yeah. Kind of similar to that. All the standard Asian native stuff. Extensive forts. Your hill castle. Intervention. Team Sordobas. Team villagers gather all food faster. Very helpful. Royal Mint. This helps with your coin gather rate. You get a lot of mercenaries here. You got Highlanders, Manchu, Pounders. This one's new and introduced to the mod, the Caucasian Breaks. These guys are in Wars of Liberty too, by the way, so very similar. Basically, these guys are armored Caucasian counter-skirmisher mercenary who gains different benefits in each stance. Carries a rifle to beat light infantry and a sword to beat heavy infantry. So, sounds like it has different specializations, which is quite nice. Team Dzungar Refugees. Mongolian mercenary range cavalry, effective against heavy cavalry, heavy infantry, and artillery. So what, like a rifle rider? Very cool. So here's some more of these reinforcement cards. The Payachota reinforcements, ships Tabers containing Payachorzi and Dezelechinetsi from your allies in Poland. The shipping can be resent from the Povlan Gate Wonder, as was the case with the Swedish one, but you get more too. You got a Lithuanian reinforcement, gives you Petahorsi Kapanians and Poktwazi Ulans, so some cavalry units. And then you have the Kapikulu reinforcements, gives you Janissaries and Sufahis this time. This is Team White Horde. It's kind of like that card we saw in this one over here, but this one's a team-based one, and it actually tells you which native sites it pulls from. It's either going to be the Sufi Quizzlebash, the Tengri Horse Archers, or even the Jaglian ones from the house of Lithuania, whatever that one was called, I forget. The House of Jagalian, yeah. Yep, galleys, frigates. So they get a very European navy, at least for now. And then here's all the Age 4 stuff. Ghazi greatly improves your merce's effectiveness versus mercenaries. Pretty cool. Infinite wolf shipment. Khanates. Your town center limit increases by 3 and gives you a town rickshaw for each town center you control. So this one can be kind of busted if you're already booming with 3 TCs. Because if you have 3 TCs now, you'll effectively increase it to 6 instantaneously with this card because you'll gain the build limit plus the wagons to do it with. Obviously, if you have less town centers, the card gets diminished, right? The build limit increase doesn't get diminished, but your ability to like have those TCs right then and now will. So I suggest you send this one after you get a full 3 TC boom going, even a small one, because then you'll be able to cover more of the map very effectively with this. Then we have the Plains Castle. Ships a castle rickshaw and greatly increases castle line of sight. So this is a non-standard Asian castle card, so I wanted to cover that one. Chinese goods. Villagers gather export from bazaars much faster. Bukhara Khanate. You get 8 herders from the Bukhara Khanate. Villagers gather coin and export from bazaars faster. Nokors. Or Nokars. Mercenary. Natives and consulate warrior attack increase. So very powerful for your special units. Silk armor. Light cavalry speed and range armor increased. By how much? About 0.1. Not bad. Uglans. Kozak and Marauder attack hit points and gold cost greatly increased. So these guys become more expensive, but their damage goes up by a lot. That doesn't even look like a trade-off card right away until you read the fine print, just so you're fully aware of that. Sword Bullets reforms. Sayman and wall gun speed increase and allows them to benefit from promotions. So they'll actually become better every time they kill something, which is great. The Quailkanchis. Light cavalry that launches fiery arrows with splash damage. Yeah, these guys are basically like mounted grenadiers, but with a bow and arrow. So very powerful. Here's just unit shipments again. Quasilik. Villager gather rate for herdables increase. Herdables provide more food. Mercenaries. The Dzungars again. These are the Circassian Lancers from the Northern Caucasus. Excels against cavalry, especially dragoons. So it's like an anti-cav based Lancer. And then we get some more reinforcement options too. We get the Husaria reinforcements. Gives you the Sorotsky and Winged Hussars from Poland. And then this one here, the Topchu reinforcements, gives you horse artillery and Hambarasi. And then down here, just some more shipments. Mongolian Mercenary Army, an infinite shipment, gives you Shumtornal and the Dzungar Marksman. So 2 different mercenaries this mod introduces. And then you get the Blue Horde. So it ships a number of native horse archers from across the steppe. This one's an infinite shipment, so this one's probably the most valuable for you to get for the late game. And since these are all sort of like native units, I don't think they cost against your pop at all, which is quite helpful. So yeah, I actually already built a deck for the Tatars already that I've been running. So I might as well just use this one with you, I think. Could be pretty fair. Yeah, I went with the Sibir Khanate because I just thought that the hunting and berries benefit was better than the wood one with the Quizim. Yeah, let's try these guys out in a match and just like give you some perspective on how they are in an actual duel. I think you've already seen a video of me like clapping the AI doing this Civ, so I should probably be able to do it, but I'll do it on the Carolina map because I really like this map and I usually perform pretty good on. So, yep, we'll face off against a random extreme AI. I mean, if you want to for like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just do Aztecs for speed purposes, just to give you the rundown of the Civ, show you some basic gameplay stuff. But overall, I think the Civ is pretty easy to play once you understand what they do. Yeah, once you understand the basics of them, they're pretty simple. So here we are with our explorer. He's kind of like a horse archer based explorer. He actually gets a charged attack too, which is pretty cool. Wind arrows. So when he uses this ability, he effectively does a 3-arrow shot. So he like fires 3 projectiles, totaling up to about 24 damage between all 3 of them. It's kind of nice for units that have high armor because you're guaranteed to get more damage out of them then. Kind of similar to the Chukunu and battering rams in AoE 2. Yeah, let's do a bit of scouting, see if we can find a decent treasure anywhere. Do that. Yep. So the herder is kind of like your standard villager, by the way, just so you know. Because we've seen a lot of references to these things called herders in the home city cards. They're just your standard vills, basically. But then you get this too. You get the export-based herders. So you get herders that cost export, and you get herders that cost food. So if you got a surplus of export and you don't have any food, and you want to keep your economy going, feel free to send these guys out for the export cost instead of the food cost. I will say though, being a bit critical, you should rarely ever find a need to do that though, since I believe personally that food is a lot more of a reasonable cost for a unit than export, which comes by a lot harder. But then again, if you have a huge economy set up to get tons of export later on, with all those cards that I showed you, maybe the export's more affordable than the food, who knows? Yeah. And as far as like emergency stuff is concerned, you get Bashi Bazooks instead of the stuff that the Asians normally get, the sentries and the irregulars. So, in some ways, your defenses are going to be a bit better against things like pikemen and muskets because of that, yeah. So far, so good. Now, I will tell you, one problem with going with this build here I do is that you will lose your export pretty quickly, and then you'll drop down quickly to like 27 right there. So if you need export for anything else, unfortunately, you're kind of cooked. Yeah, unfortunately. Now, right now, I think we're going to have to watch very closely here and maybe just age up with 15 vills. Since we're facing the Aztec AI could be pretty fierce. Yeah, totally. So, what should we do for age up? Yeah, we should probably... You know what? I'm just going to cancel these vills up because I don't know what this Aztec AI is going to do exactly. Which wonder do you get first? Of all the wonders you can get right away, I usually like to get the Ark of Bukhara first because this one gives you free troops. Plus, the building is like a cool Agra fort replica with a bit of different textures and stuff. So yep, we'll start with that right there. Every shipment gives you a free yurt, so there's our free yurt right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Very nice. So yeah, we're in good shape now, I think. I mean, if you want to be like super nerdy with your economy, you can sort of like work it in so that when you get 75 export, you just automatically queue in a herder, so you can save more of your food for military. But that's if you want to be real nitpicky. I usually just go with the food ones myself. But yeah, again, even if you don't want to be super nerdy with it, having that extra export-based herder option is very good, because if you like get kicked off of a hunt, you can still get economy, which is very helpful. Yep, this structure basically gives us these kolongsis, basically horse archers that shoot fire arrows that actually do splash damage. So kind of like a siege trooper in a way on horseback. Is there anything we can do in the meantime that's helpful? Unfortunately, nope. But we're going to need some military, though, right away. Thankfully, we're going to get a free castle rickshaw with this age up we're doing. So, yep, should be very helpful. Look at the unique textures on this construction, by the way. It's totally not the Agra fort that you know. They did a good job making new sort of cool textures and models and stuff. Because I think some of them all changed, too, right? Yeah. And here's the castle, too. It's an India-based castle, since it's sort of a Middle East civ versus a East Asian civ, I would say. Let's just get some archers right now. We need a bit of defense here, right? Yep. Let's build the barracks. Look at how beautiful these buildings are. I love these buildings. They're kind of the same Bukhara sort of like appeal that the buildings in Wars of Liberty have, right? Because when you look at this barracks, it looks very similar to the gunsmith, right? Kinda does. So yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yeah, big time. Okay, the bot's already rushing me. That's why I wanted to age up so quickly. We're gonna have some archers right away, though, so this shouldn't be a big deal. I don't think so. Yeah. Yep, and when we get that shipment, we'll get another yurt. Very cool. Yep. The one thing I touched on earlier, too, is whenever you build these yurts, you get a free sheep. So you don't even have to, like, spend food to get immediate herdable value from them right away. They already sort of come with that value attached to them, if that makes any sense. Which is really cool. Yeah, no. The Tatars can really take care of you good if you know what you're doing, yeah. Big time. I'm going to get some more of the... And then probably just going to get some Tatars. Yeah. Starting a bit slow, but that's alright. We'll pick up speed a lot quicker later on. Here's Corval there. Very nice. And one thing I can do too at the end of the match, if I'm not able to showcase it all, go over the new consulate options with you too. That's one piece that I didn't touch on too much. Is the new consulate stuff that you get with this Civ. Yeah, you get new unique consulate options just with these guys. You get a new Polish option, and you get a new Chinese option too. Plus your other ones available, I think, are the Ottomans and the Russians. So yeah, a lot of potential there for good unit combos. Yep. Yep, these are your Kwalanchis here, your splash attack horse archers. They get multipliers against infantry, but a malus against cannons and cavalry. They also do crush damage too, which is pretty nice. These are the Tatars. I'll show you what they look like up front so you can like look at them. Yeah, this is what they look like. Yeah, they're basically Mongol soldiers with like a wooden shield and axe. I mean, I think the Tatar is a little bit small though compared to the ones that Wars of Liberty has, but it's still pretty good to look at. Yeah. Archers. I need more foot archers. I might even say get a secondary barracks down so we can like defend and stack again, because I think if you like mass up early on against Aztecs, they're pretty manageable to deal with usually. Yeah. Let's get rid of this war chief now. Nip him in the bud so we don't have to deal with this big tanky guy giving him XP when he fights us. Very nice. Alright, there we go. And then we'll get a second barracks there to make Tatars with, right? Yep. Let's set up the export now, too. I think it's about time we do that, right? Yep. Most likely. Let's get that set up as well. Very nice. So far we're defending pretty well, but I'm sure this bot's going to be up our tail very quickly, so we have to prepare ourselves for it. The one annoying thing is that these yurts don't have a lot of housing space, so you have to constantly be building and building and building like Bob the Builder. It gets tiring after a while, but other than that, the yurts are pretty cool for late game food. Also, let's get our consulate now too, because we just picked that up, right? Yep. I wonder what site we can get. I might not even... Well, I could ally with someone now. It's just I don't think I'll send any units just yet. Let's see what we got. Put this here. Looks like the Aztec bot doesn't even want to engage with me, so he might be a little bit spooked with my progress. Yeah, which is totally fine. Yep. Look, market's beautiful too. The market has that Bukhara style visual as well, which is pretty neat. And I believe the castles will too once we start upgrading them. So yeah, this Civ is pretty good to look at. Even if you don't like the gameplay, just looking at them is pretty awesome too. Alright, yep, this is what the console looks like. The consulate was also redone as well. Let's see, so which one? Maybe I'll start with Chinese. Yeah. Actually, I'll go Polish. Yeah, the Polish give us a food trickle. So yeah, that might be a good one to start with. Okay, so yep, coyotes coming in. Let's back up a bit. Let's fortify this position. Let's kill all the coyotes first, and then we can move on to the rest of the stuff after that, right? Some more Tatars now. Okay, you guys can probably go into the TC, because we're being, like, raided right now. Definitely don't want to get cooked, right? Yep, totally not. Oh, we're doing just fine. We're cooking them. We're cooking them real good right now. So that's great. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send my Swedish reinforcements now. That'll be a huge boost because that'll give us Caroliners that will shred apart his coyote runners, and then lever cannons to destroy the rest. So yeah, that's a good first step in using reinforcement armies for us, and that'll give us a great defense. Because we're already sort of like defending just fine with just Tatars and the Corvo archers, but adding in those European troops with really strong range attacks, that's going to give us everything we need to sort of do really well. And you just notice I went with the Polish. The Polish give you a whole set of new units, plus, as well, they also basically give you this stuff too for your economics. The first thing is the Folwark, which you might remember from AoE 2. Basically, it's like a big giant farm and livestock pen put together, plus it gives you 5 free cows with the tech as well, which is kind of helpful for you. Archers, Tatars. Let me send in my Mergens. Not my Mergens, my Kozaks. My cavalry units. I'd rather play it safe early on, and then we can focus on fun stuff later, as far as setup is concerned. Also market techs. I should be picking some of these up, right? Yeah. Do we have any hunts nearby? Hunts are down here. We'd have to push forward a bit to do that, which might make us a bit exposed. So I don't know if that would be safe. Oh, we got hunts up here. Let's make sure these are pushed down, though. Otherwise, the Vils might not be able to surround the food source, which could be very annoying. Yeah, let's get another yurt here. Also, we got all these sheep that are fattening, too, that we got for free for building these yurts, so we will be eating really well. Actually, we already have sheep that we can eat right now. Maybe we should eat them. Maybe we should. Oh, God, how's he reaching in the back of my army there? Dude. How did he do it? Oh, because all my Tatars thought it would be okay to chase the slingers. I mean, I'm not mad at him. Probably helped out quite a bit, but I was like, dude, you're letting our cannons die. Don't do that. You know, I don't want our artillery to drop. Yeah, you sort of have an idea of how this civ works now, right? Yep. Are we in the sheep yet? No, we will now, though. Well, we will eat the sheepies now. Let's build our stable structure as well. Right here. What else can we do with our time here? With let's pick up since we're doing so much infantry, why don't we pick up this shipment here? This will make our Tatars have 20% plus HP, and then our archers will get 10% more HP. So everybody wins, but the Tatars win especially with that one. Let's pick up a mining tech too. As you can tell, we're already sort of like winning this easily. Yeah, the bot really doesn't know how to deal with it, pretty much. Yeah. Basically, instead of a range attack, the Arquebuscara actually just has upgrades that you unlock more of with each age. Black Chirik. Tatars and Curvils train faster. Tatars gain more hit points and Curvils more damage when they're near each other. So yep, this is really good for your early game units, so I would definitely say to get that if you can. The Chiriks, as you know, in Wars of Liberty are basically your spearmen. Kind of funny how they didn't add Chiriks to this civ, right? But they mentioned it in the technology. Very fascinating. But yeah, overall we're doing pretty well here. We'll pick up some more archers too. We should be in good shape. Right now, we're probably outnumbering the enemy in terms of mass of army and stuff, so we're in pretty okay shape. I'm still going to pick this stuff up now, though. We're going to get mining here, and then we should be able to age up eventually, right? Oh, no, totally. I think we can age up just fine. Oh, wow, we got a pretty stackable mass here. I like it. Let's get all the food. These guys need to fan up still, though. Only take the sheep that are filled. Eat them. Everybody else has to basically, yep. Let's go yurt here. This is the Mergen. This is our horse archer, good against Cav. Also shock infantry, so they will rip apart the coyote runners. Very nice. What do we got here? Double barracks. Tatars, very cool. What do we got? We will probably get the full wark now, because that would be a good economic idea for late game. To just get that out of the way. As far as age up is concerned, let's maybe pick up our Povon gate now, unless. Actually, let's get the livestock pen thing first here. It kind of uses the Teshugu Shrine as sort of the model, and then it retextures it and changes some of the visuals on it more to make it more look Central Asian, which I like. This is the full wark. It's like a big giant mill and livestock pen put together in a field, and then we take our cows and we can put them really anywhere we want. It's kind of funny how we're getting two herdable things at the same time here, but overall that'll be very helpful. You'll notice once we, should I get a bazaar now, actually? Yeah, I probably should. Because we could really use the export, right? Yeah, totally. Let's get that now. Very good idea, actually. And switch it to export, because why not? Pelt markets. Yep, this is how we basically get a bajillion export as a civ. It's really cool. I think you noticed once we went onto the structure, the export gatherer went up tenfold with that, and it's going to go up even more when we send this pelt markets upgrade with it too. It's going to be much better. Oh boy, we're being attacked again. Being attacked again. Hello? 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 Moo-moos. I'm going to the enemy. Where the moo-moos going? What you doing, son? Shoot. There we go. Are we gonna be okay? I think we will. Let's get some of these Samanies now, though. These will hit a bit harder than our archers. We'll ship some Mergens in now, though. Yeah. Just to make sure we round out our army. Should I just get another bazaar and start pumping out export like... I think I should. Yeah. Also send some of these in too. Some of the Polish cavalry. Yep, we're going to start spamming export like crazy here if possible. Persian goods. This one will help with the export rate too, which is really nice. Get some tabarders. Yeah, massing tabars is probably recommended here, I would say. Yeah. These are essentially Polish halberdiers, so these guys will be really good against cavalry. I might actually be able to focus on archers then, if I'm going to just get a ton of halberds out of the Polish anyways, right? Yeah, basically. Let's get another batch of these now too. This is what these guys look like when you veteran upgrade them. They get like a really cool coat of like blue and red on their suits there. These are the Polish halberdiers, by the way, too. Kozaks gain a charge armor piercing musket attack. I like that idea quite a bit, so maybe we'll pick that up next. But we'll need some Kozaks though to make it worthwhile. So, I don't know, I might not get that yet. Let's focus on getting the veteran up on our archers first, and then we can think about that later maybe. Yeah. I'd like to get some of these reinforcement cards in too, because we'll be able to use those later. Some more archers, right? Yep. Do we have any mines around? Yeah, we got one in the back. Okay. I was thinking about maybe sending the coal mines from Poland. I don't think we need that just yet, right? Yeah, no. They're actually silver. Silver mines. Even better. I kind of want to get that Turkish army here first, that reinforcement army. Gives us a lot of stuff. Yep, that one. Very nice. Oh, we cooked them pretty good there, honestly. Yeah, now the Aztecs too scared to face us now, so we're gonna cook them pretty quickly. Very nice. Slinger decided to die though. Well, you David and Goliath? There you go. Yeah, David and Goliath. Alright. What now? Well, we want to probably put some bills up on the mines here. Just saying. Let's pick this up. This way we can get more of the Mergens and the Quarvels together. Yeah. Tons of stats on that one. Actually, I might go industrial age now, just so we can pick up our next wonder and get more reinforcement armies. That might be the best move, honestly. So I might go that route. Yeah, might be time we focus on that next, I think. Yeah, our army is pretty indestructible right now, I would say. I don't even need to spend resources on troops, right? I can just focus on eating stuff. Yeah, probably. Why don't you pick up that gold right now? Yeah. We'll put a, here, right here. Oh, yeah, let's get the Pulvan Gate now, I think, yeah. It's like a big Shamanar gate with some cool tops on it. They're super blue. I love the color blue, by the way, so I really like this whole Bukhara architecture. It's really awesome. Love the cool blue domes on stuff. We'll pick this up next, yeah. Let's get the lead mine done now so we can get some silver around our base and we don't have to get raided when we expand, yeah. Very nice. Alright, we're heading towards an Egypt now, which is great. I would say, yeah. Put silver here, yeah. Alright, we're aged up now. And where can we go now, I think? Let's see. What we got? Is it 30 minutes yet? No, it's better to send that once you reach 30 minutes so you get the maximum of these units. I would say, yeah. See, with this wonder, we can make more of our reinforcement armies. Plus, we can recruit mercenaries too, costing export, which is very helpful. Yep, there's the Swedish reinforcements, and here's the Kapakula one. Yeah. Yeah, the Sentinels are really just Zambaraks, really. Wars of Liberty Zambaraks. So they're very powerful against infantry. Zamabeeks, to be more specific. I think we should just send like a reinforcement army of the armament stuff, yeah. Sifahis and Janissaries. Yeah, no, that's actually a pretty sweet idea. And then we could probably ship in Golden Horde. Get some troops that way. Let's swap this into gold. Let's chop up some wood too over here. What else we got? Everything we need, right? Yeah. Okay, let's think about maybe pushing this guy out. I think we got enough for it. I think we do. I think we got enough to, like, gauge in an offense. Probably, yeah. Probably. Moving the army over there. Let's pick a push on his archers. Most important thing when you're pushing these bots, always make sure you have enough resources at home, so if you lose your army for whatever reason, you don't get completely washed out. It's very, very important, otherwise things can go south rather quickly for you. Actually, you should be on gold. You shouldn't even be on berries. Like, just pick up gold for me. Yeah, let's get the Tengri guys in, so that we can get more natives. Actually, I should align with these two, so we can start picking up Seminoles and Cherokees to send at them as well. Yep, playing this map reminds me of Hishe, who used to always play on this map. Unfortunately, he can't install Wars of Liberty right now, so he hasn't been able to play lightly, but once he figures it out, hopefully we can get back to our good old 1v1s, and I could probably start uploading those again. Which would be really nice. Yeah, right now this bot has, like, no answer for this sort of stuff. Oh no! Is he gonna go after my? Oh god, I'm gonna send my bastard bazooks after you for doing that. You're not getting away with that, son. No, absolutely not. Okay, they're Seminole Bowmen. I thought they were Arrow Knights for a second. Like, oh no! Don't tell me he's gonna siege my bill with Arrow Knights. Yeah, no, you're not getting rid of my full work, man. It's just not gonna. That's not gonna fly. Let's pick up a paper mill now. Ships a paper plantation wagon that makes trees provide more wood. He's got a lot of troops there, man. Oh, okay. He's got another yurt. Yurty. He's still sending stuff at me. Hey, Kermit. Keep doing that. I'm going to destroy that native site of yours. So maybe stop that, alright? Can't have you raiding me like that. It's basically like a big mango grove, pretty much. Yeah. Look at all the troops he's spamming. Like, where's all these guys coming from? Oh man, that's a lot of troops he's got there. Yeez. God. Alright, yeah, let's get some Simonese here. And we'll get some Butters too. Yeah. And then we'll want to get more siege stuff as well. We can also start sending we could start sending armies here of these Swedes. Interesting. So it looks like can we send these again once no, we can't. I thought we could send them as many times as we want to. Very weird. Whatever. What about all this stuff? Let's get some of this. Crimean reinforcements. I'm just thinking of troops we can send. Yeah. See, I was always under the impression you could send those reinforcements multiple times, but it looks like you can only do them once. That's fine. It's actually still good because then we can, like, still stack stuff in against them, which is very helpful. Let's get a bunch of horse archers, too. And then we'll just make more of these, yeah, more Tatars, more of all this stuff, yeah. And then we got our natives too now, we got Cherokee. Throw those in.
Cannot suffer these alliances to exist. Çiplermen.
Actually, there's a wonder I forgot about, which I probably should have sent. Basically, I should have sent this one, the Sali Ibatu. It actually gives it so that I get coin and export when I kill enemies. Yeah, I should have thought of that one. I guess I didn't. It's all right. I mean, we're probably still gonna beat this guy out, but we just have to be a little bit more careful. Basically, let's get this here. Let's put you on the paper mill right now. Send the big army of Humbarsi and horse artilleries next, because that's what we really need here to push this guy good. Good stuff like that. He's an Imperial Age. He's an Imperial Age. Brutal. Alright, let's push on then. Let's keep the offense going so we don't fall behind. Hopefully not. Starting eating some cows now. Also, I should have gone selective breeding earlier too. That would have definitely helped out quite a bit. Most definitely now we should be in better shape there. What else we got here first? Well, let's send those natives in too. Get some Tatars. Because now he has a lot less natives he can throw at me. I think the big re in the bot became a problem was because he was spamming natives at me. If I can like wipe out some of his natives, of course, then he can't be as annoying because then he's losing like half his army mass. And I can actually start to push in his directions, yeah.
Evet.
Selam.
Evet.
Evet. Kuzu.
Evet. Alhaç kesermen. Alhaç
Hazır ol.
kesermen.
Yap tamam. Emret yap tamam. Evet tamam. Evet. Yap tamam. Evet. Tamam. Evet. Tamam yaparım. Emret evet. Evet ileri. Kuzu.
Yeah, let's save these native sites. I don't want him grabbing those again. Even if we can't use them, let's at least prevent him from using them. That's what it's all about, really. Keep him from using the native sites, then we're in much better shape. If I feel like the match is going to take too long, I'll probably just quit it, but yeah. Kind of get the idea of how the Tatars work, right? Pretty good power civ that gets out special units very quickly and can overrun the enemy with them.
Guatemala cannot suffer these alliances to exist. cannot suffer these alliances to exist.
Anladım. Kulu Marat Bey. Buruk anladım. Marunza sosaklanım.
Das Bali, Bali, Amirabam.
Salam. Mudir
Kulu Ketarne.
Evet. Mudir
Salam. Çıkabilirim çeyfen.
مشتاق خدمت.
Emriniz.
دستورات شما. هر کار بی دشمن جویم.
Buruk das. Kulu Ketar Marat Bey. Buruk das. Sosaklanım. Marat Bey. Sanchiska.
Guatemala cannot suffer these alliances to exist.
مش بی شک. بی شک. بلی. بلی.
You know what I'm going to do in the meantime while I'm like doing this? I'm going to kind of go over what all these are. Basically, this one here is the expeditionary force for Poland. Gives you the Krakow Donetsky, basically halberdiers. This one gives you the one I just sent, the petty horsey companions. Basically, a elite sort of anti-cav, as well as the what's it called again? The Pochuzi, which are basically anti-skirmishers, so they're actually good against enemy skirms, but they can also be used against heavy infantry too, so pretty good. Those are coming in right now. So yep, these are the petty horses, by the way. So basically strong Polish dragoons, and then these are the Pleichers, essentially counter skirms. It also acts like regular skirms, and then you have this here, gives you winged hussars and horse artillery. And then this one gives you winged hussars and petty horsey companions. I'll go over the Chinese with you as well, since they're a little bit different. They can actually help you out in the long term with some very key stuff. And I might actually go with them, just so I can pick up some special units there. Let me get some of these lancers here. Oh, let's pick this up. You know what we're going to get now? We're going to get the last wonder that we need to, like, win this game. The Sali Batu. This right now. And another barracks we didn't build for some reason. Yeah, let's build that too. Yep. Then we can get Imperial upgrades, and we should be able to win this pretty quickly. Yeah. I'm figuring since the match is so long now, we may as well just multitask a bit and get some of the consulate stuff I wanted to show you done first. So now that I've sort of showed you what the Polish do, let's look at the Chinese while we're here. The Chinese were a bit different. Basically what the Chinese do is oh, and I didn't show you the bonus. Their bonus is military units train faster, by the way. But what the Chinese do is they give you banner armies. So they feel a bit more like the traditional Chinese civ and how they function with you. They can be very powerful because of that. But overall, what the Chinese are best known for is unlocking artillery units. So you can unlock flamethrowers, you can unlock this. It's pretty good, actually. Really helps you out quite a lot. Let's get a territorial army, yeah. And this one gives you natives. It gives you rattan shields and iron troops. We'll get this one, though, with the iron flail and the meteor hammers. And then after that, let's pick up Chinese goods. Get Imperial on this. Yep. We could put this onto the export, of course, right? Yeah, and then we'll just get another one here so we can keep up with the gold eco. Yeah. What about this? Yep. Tobacco markets. I think we're in good shape here. Let's get these Batirs out. The Batirs are the ones that guts the infantry, so these are the guys we want a lot of, basically, if we're going to wipe out his army there. Yeah. What else do we need? We probably want to get our infantry up too, so we'll focus on that next. But yeah, overall, we're doing pretty good here. We're like wiping out most of his stuff. Yeah, like look at how powerful these Tatars are once we really start to upgrade them good. It's like he's scrambling with this coyote runners, figuring out what to do, and we're just like cleaning him up really quickly here. This is what we need to do to basically clean him up. We should be good there. In the meantime, what I will do though is I will start to unlock artillery, so you can unlock the flamethrowers, you can unlock the hand mortars, and you can unlock the flying crows as well. So you can essentially get all the Chinese siege weapons. And you actually can like mass flying crows better than the Chinese Civ proper does, which is crazy. Because with the Chinese, as you know, you either have to ship them in or you have to wait for that Confucian Academy to give you the flying crows. Tatars can just train them directly out of the castle. Gives you a huge sort of tactical advantage as far as being able to mass that stuff up. But yeah, see, once we hit Imperial Age, everything starts to change over now. Because now, as we kill troops, export comes in like no tomorrow. Now we got like strong Imperial Tatars here, and really the enemy can't do much to like defend against us at this point. Yeah, and this is the monastery, by the way. It's like a full Islamic mosque. Very good looking structure there. Really good piece of building there. Yeah, and with all these Tatars, we should be able to clean them out, no problem. Totally. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna upgrade my castle. Put one on the front lines alongside this. And we're going to start throwing flamethrowers at them now. Let's start sending the hand mortars too. Let's start sieging them apart. And then we can pick up the next one after that. Oh yeah. Pretty good. Let's get Bazaar. Let's get another one on export. Yeah, no, we're in great shape right now. We're like really cooking it here. Trying to get these. Yeah, the hardest part when you're facing AI is they always try to rebuild while you're trying to attack them. So you're essentially spending like 20 times more seconds just trying to like force them back. Because they're like a disease. They always try to like reproduce their army very quickly. So you have to stay ahead of that curve. And these are the flamethrowers here. The Napta flamethrowers, the Thunder Crash mortars, and then the Flying Crows too. Yeah. I guess they have a build limit, is that right? Oh, they have a build limit. I didn't know that. I actually didn't even know that until I looked at it now. I was like, oh, interesting. So they actually have a legit build limit. Very important to know, actually. So like when you're like sieging and stuff, just know that you can't build a bajillion of them. You can only build a certain stack of them instead. Let us send, oh yeah, we can send these again too, by the way. So we can send this again, and I think it would unlock another one at our wonder as well, right? Or if I'm mistaken. God, where we go again? Let me try to, like, send this thing up here. I think we almost got him now. We just have to push in a little bit deeper here, and we should be all set to go. What do we got up here? Do we have a... Let me get a stable here. Get veteran on my horse archers. Americans. Yeah, I think if we go horse archer, but here we should be fine. We're kind of on the last leg of the journey. Yep, this is our monastery here. These are the upgrades it gives to our explorer. Child of Ashina. Connection to the ancient Turkic ancestor wolf allows the immerser to train wolf companions. Wild Surge increases the damage of military units and the work rate of near Mirza. In Zagir, equips a decorative thumb ring, improving the damage and charge rate of the Mirza's wind arrows. So that ability where he shoots multiple arrows out in a close succession there. Now that we got that done, let's see what else we can send in. Let's send these Tatars in now. Also, we could be sending natives in too. Let's get archers, Chidikis. Do we have our like Imperial Age wood chopping upgrade? Because it seems like wood is really slow right. No, we don't. Let's pick that up. Then we should be able to have enough wood to siege. Let me do that. Let's just get this guy cooked, or at least see if we can. If we can't, then I'll just pull out. But yeah, let's just gauge it right now. Start pushing in. Beautiful. Okay, let's do that. This turned into a more tedious episode than I thought. Wow. Yeah, I thought the Aztec AI was going to be kind of easy, but, yeah, no, this ended up turning into a real challenge, actually, which I did not expect. Okay, so you can't send the army in again once you... Okay, good to know. It's mental notes for me, too. I'm learning things as much as you are, so... Yeah, it's actually honestly pretty fun. Yeah, barracks. Got barracks here. Great. Can we, like, kill this guy finally? Like, I just want this bot to die. I'm sick and tired of him living. Just die, please. Stop living. It's causing me pain. Your living is causing me pain. Oh man, yeah, no. Sometimes these bots are really annoying. Like, you just want them to just croak already, and they just won't die. They just keep staying alive and surviving and massing, and it's like, dude, find you for the past hour, man. Sometimes you just resign because you get bored of them because they just won't croak. It's like, dude, I've already figured out your tricks, and you're still alive somehow. And the way you fix it is pretty simple, actually. You actually just have to build your buildings closer and closer, so that eventually your superior economy and military overrides his, and then you can beat him out eventually. It's kind of like a war of attrition, if you will, and that's sort of how you have to play it. And how are you over here? What are you doing over here? I'm gonna shoot him in the head there, so he, like, actually gets away from my stuff. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get gold wood, so that I can get the cavalry that I need to, like, push out, basically, yeah. It's crazy. Ugh. Oh, man. But tears. And now that I think about it, there is a tech we can send too that would also help. This one here. The Mirza one. So that way we can get a huge army of Kodongsis and just run them at the enemy right away. And then we should be able to siege out pretty quickly. Yeah. That should help quite a bit. This helps the Archer Siege Bearer, right? So let's get that too. Alright, let's get in there and get him now. It's now or never. If we don't kill him now, he's just gonna crawl back. We gotta rip him apart now. Let's rip him at the seams. Cut him the ribbons. Let's cut him the ribbons. Yeah, now we should be able to do it. Alright, that's dead. Let's move in. We can send these in too, so let's do that. Can we get Yurt here as well? So we can make Tengri natives. Alright, now we got him. Okay, now he's dead. Alright, he can't come back from this, right? No, I don't think he can. I don't think he can once we get this much stuff. Alright, we finally figured it out, man, and you finally have an understanding of the Tatar civ, I hope. Yep, I didn't even have to really show you too much there outside of the match. You know what I will do though? I will show you the last wonder that I didn't use in this match. It's not that good. I think it's kind of the weakest one because it just gives you like free healers, I believe, but it can still be useful in some situations, so I'll show you that anyways. And we should be all set. Yeah, no. Perfect. Just use this to siege and then we're all set. Yep, perfect. Yeah, the bot should resign any moment. Also, let's take out the native site too. Once we take the native site out, he usually loses all of his production, right? Yeah.
Do not think you can turn these natives against Guatemala.
And then just ally this one. Great. Can we get spies now and just find where this bot is? Yep. Okay, so he's mostly on the water, and then he's got like something up there. Yep. Once the vills are dead, I think the bot usually resigns, typically. And then we can actually train up Navy too and kill them on the water as well as needed. These are our docks, by the way. They're very similar to the Middle Eastern docks in Wars of Liberty. So they got the cool, nice blue dome on them as well, making them quite neat. So in general, we can make all the European boats for the most part that the Ottomans can. So we got some monitors, frigates. Yep, there we go, perfect. Alright, so that was a nice one. So yeah, let's restart. I'm going to just show you quickly what the last wonder looks like that I didn't do with you. And then we should be good here. Alright, let's do that now. It's this one right here, the Tilya Koli Madrasa. So yeah, it's like a Taj Mahal, but super breathtaking and blue and stuff. what this does is essentially it makes the sages. Sages are healers with a low build limit but no pop cost. So these guys you don't actually need to have any pop space for. So they're almost like a native healer, which is pretty nice. And then you get these texts too. Scripture. Sages cost less and train faster. Then if we like want to age up a bit more with some more wonders, we can show you even more stuff like this. And
What? Already you advance in age? This
alright, so yep.
displeases Quatemo
And I should show you what the
very
castle looks like too when fully upgraded. So if we upgrade this twice. This is what the castles look like here. So they start as like a very bright blue dome and then it gets more textured after that. But yeah, the architects here. Sage build limit greatly increased, so now we can have a big army of these, 10 of them. And then Timurid Renaissance. Increases Sage movement speed. Sages in the Tilya Korda Madrasa can heal over a much larger area. So there we go. The Tatar / Uzbek civ for Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. The Tatars Central Asian civ mod. Hopefully you enjoyed my little presentation, and before we go, I will show you what the mod is so you can find it in the mod manager. So we go to tools and mods. Here it is down here, this one. This is the one you want to search. So yeah, thank you very much. Sign off now and see you all mañana. Yeah, mañana.